is going on? You just entered the Grown Folks Lounge, viewer. Welcome. We are back to talk about this Jones-Tyson fight tonight. To recap a conversation we had earlier, we can take you back to a previous episode where we didn't even know that Tyson was going to fight Roy Jones Jr. And we were discussing whether Tyson should even come back and do it at all. And now this is happening tonight. So this should be interesting. We're going to get everybody's take on who they think is going to win, what they think is going to happen, if it should be happening at all. We even talked about Logan Paul. Well, that little piece of shit's brother is fighting tonight.
Right.
And he's fighting Nate Robinson, who I don't really know that much about. So let's dig into this first. The intro, my main man, A Stone, is in the room.
What up, what up?
My main man, Jay Landis, is in the room. My cousin Chuck is in the room. My main man, Dewan, is in the room. You are in the Grown Folks Lounge, and if you're coming up in here, viewer, grab your goddamn drink, because we're going to toast the orange maggot getting ejected from the White House as well. Ooh. That said, gents, give me what your predictions and what you think is going to happen in tonight's fight. I'm going to start. I'm going to say I'm just not going to raise the bar too high for expectations. I think that what goes on tonight is a boring fucking fight where Jones runs from Tyson for 8 rounds. Tyson is too tired, might hit him here and there, make us think we're going to get a fight, but it's going to end on some lame decision that's disappointing where Jones wins. Even though I'm rooting for Tyson, and I think if Tyson hits him, he's going out.
I think you're probably right about that prediction. I wouldn't be shocked if they have a little bit of an agreement with each other. You know, but
let's not hurt each other too bad.
The problem I have with the fight, the reason I'm not necessarily excited to watch it is there's really no outcome that I'm rooting for. I like Tyson a lot more than I like Roy Jones, but I don't want to see Mike Tyson knock Roy Jones out.
Yeah.
Now. And I don't want to see Roy Jones box his way to an easy decision over Tyson, which I agree with you is probably what will happen.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the problem. There's nothing I'm rooting for.
Oh, Sekou's coming in. Joe, I totally agree with that, man. And that's why I was disappointed to even find out that Roy Jones was fighting Tyson. Sekou, as you're coming in, we're going to just start with predictions on the fight and what we think is going to happen. Then we'll do our dump Trump toast after the fact. So. But we got started because you are already in. So Landis, so your predictions are.
I think you're probably right, Roy, by I don't know, majority decision. It's only 8 rounds, and each round is only 2 minutes.
Yep.
All right.
I think it's gonna go by fast.
There's no headgear. So Roy's gonna
go by fast
because if he gets hit once around here,
it's a wrap.
He's going to be in trouble.
And he's got a glass jaw. Roy's got a glass jaw now.
Tarver
gets somehow Tarver gave him that glass jaw.
Yes. No, the thing is, Roy probably always had it, but Roy was so good, we never seen him get hit.
Exactly right. Yeah, he always,
Right.
Yeah. It's almost like dude who lost to oh man, he was never the same after Amir Khan. Amir Khan was never the same after he got caught by
the dancing boy, Amir Khan, right?
By Garcia. Ever since he got caught by Garcia, he was never the same again.
Who was the first guy that knocked him out?
Breeders Prescott knocked him out.
Garcia who knocked him out first, wasn't it? Danny Garcia?
No, it was Breeders Prescott knocked him out.
Oh, Prescott, okay.
Yeah, Khan got knocked out when he was a prospect.
Yeah, trying to put everything in.
So that said, Landis, you think Jones by decision? You think it's gonna play out like the same way? Mr. Stone. Oh, Mr. Stone's talking.
What about the Jake Paul, Nate Robinson?
Oh, okay, we got to get to that too. Jake Paul.
By 30-second knockout.
I think that piece of shit little troll Jake Logan gets some lame decision that he doesn't deserve. Acts like he conquered the world. And I think he's going to act like he has swagger. He's going to do that little stupid racist Logan Paul bullshit. Yeah, man, beat that nigga, man. Beat his fucking ass, bro.
So, Maurice, clearly you don't know Nate Robinson, dude.
I hope I'm wrong. I think Logan is going to beat I don't know.
So, world-class athlete, always been he's always been undervalued. So, let me explain, Maurice.
Oh, yeah.
Nate Robinson had the ability to be a 2-sport athlete when he played basketball at Washington because he's also a stud cornerback, okay?
Yeah.
He's strong as fuck, explosive athlete. Paul ain't fought nobody like this guy before.
Okay.
And he's a dog, dude. He's a dude who just.
So he actually has some. He can scrap.
Then you have to kill Nate Robinson to beat him, dude. That's what I.
Okay, so he can scrap. You're saying Robinson can scrap?
Robinson seems to excel at anything he seems to put his mind to, Maurice. And what I've seen from Jake Paul, he's no legendary boxer, dude. He's handpicked.
He's a piece of shit.
So that's my thing. When you've handpicked your opponents,
he's an opportunist.
Yeah, he's handpicked opponents up until now.
But if you saw the Jake Paul fight where he fought the other YouTube guy,
was it KSI? Some dude named KSI?
Adenose or something.
Somebody,
his name was like spelled like my big nose backwards or something.
Yeah.
But Jake Paul does have some. I mean, he clearly does train.
He trains, yeah.
He trains as a boxer. So it's not like Greg Brady out there fighting Danny Parker.
I know, but I think he
didn't.
Well, here's what's so
annoying, dude. The other thing also has
you're right. There's a huge difference between Nate
caliber
Robinson
athlete, the person you fight also. Right. You put somebody in front of you, who also is quasi boxer, not the same athlete, things that nature. Like I've always just noticed with Nate Robinson, dude, playing in the league and shit like that, watch this dude go up and slam on 7-foot dudes. He's a dog. And I know ultimately end of the day, he ain't putting his ass out here for no pretty show against some dude just to lose.
Well, Robinson's smaller than him, right?
Robinson's a 3-time slam dunk champion.
Yeah.
And he's not a tall guy, right?
He's shorter. He's shorter than Logan. He's shorter than Paul.
No, but that's to my point. Is like to play the game the way he played, being a guy who's not that tall. It says a lot about his drive and his ability. So he's not a natural boxer, but his level of athleticism. Because I've trained a couple like D1 college dudes, and they didn't have boxing fundamentals, but their ability to adjust and their stamina and their endurance, and their ability to be able to bounce back from handle pressure, it makes a difference.
Yeah.
Whether he can take a punch or not, that's something different. But
I agree.
Plus,
I also think
Nate Robinson. I will say, Nate Robinson looks like a guy who can take a punch. He just looks to me like he's got a chance.
So wait, hold up. Are you guys trying to get me somewhat psyched about this fight? What if this fight fucks around and ends up being the star of the show this evening?
My question is,
Logan
why
Paul's
are they
brother and Nate Robinson is the fight of the night.
So what it is everybody really questions, I think, Paul's veracity and legitimacy as a fighter, and having people, up until now. So now here's yet another opportunity to step in the ring with someone who wants to step up to take that challenge.
Right.
And I think really when I look at it, when you think in terms of like sports and so forth, man, everything works in what I call your straddle or your horse position, literally where your feet are wider than your shoulders. You sit down as if you're riding a horse, man. It's a position. It's probably the most prone sport position. You use it in football, you use it in basketball, you use it in baseball, you use it in fucking everything. Nate Robinson, stalwart defender too, man. And I think part of what it is from your shake and bake with basketball, he's going to be a lot harder to hit, I think, than Paul is expecting as well. Okay. And the other thing I think is after a period of time, if guys wear down, your hands drop, things of that nature, Nate coming in there swinging too, brother. So that's really kind of what I'm excited about seeing, Maurice. I just know the inner competitor, Nate Robinson, that motherfucker not finna back down, bro. And that's what I'm rolling with tonight. I've not seen you, bro, so much from Jake Paul that I'd be like, oh man, he's overmanned. He's
okay. Hang on, though. Hang on. Hold up, though. No, go ahead, Sekou. Sorry.
I was asking, how many rounds is this?
How many rounds
is this fight?
I would. How many are scheduled, Sekou?
Scheduled. That's what I'm asking. How many scheduled?
I don't even know.
Scheduled for 6.
Is it 8 again?
Yeah.
6 rounds?
6 or 8.
6 to 8.
Every day?
Man,
2 minutes or 3 minutes?
Honestly,
probably 3.
I think. Oh, they're 2?
Tyson Roy is 2 minutes. I know that.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. Tyson Roy we know about.
So check it out, y'all. 2 things. Of course, I just get a notification that my laptop battery is trying to die on me. So I want to get back on track. I'm going to go get the cord to keep it plugged in so we don't get cut off that way. Let's finish first with what we think happens with Tyson and Jones, and then we're going to get to this Paul Robinson fight. So, Stone, that said, while I go off and get my charger, sir, you give your what you think is going to happen, your prediction, and how you think the fight's going to play out. Tyson and Jones.
Excellent. Tyson Jones, I think, had the makeup to be semi-interesting. You got two 50-year-olds who definitely both skilled fighters. What I look at now is how doggedly Mike has worked to get in shape. And I'm not gonna lie, like the videos I've seen of Roy, looks kind of like Roy's a little bit more like tongue-in-cheek about this shit and so forth. And I was like, this ain't the motherfucker to be tongue-in-cheek about, because the last thing that would happen, you get in the ring, Mike hears the bell and flash back on your ass, dog. And I'm like, the first 30 seconds, y'all, to a minute, Roy gonna feel like the devil himself is in that ring with his ass, because I think Mike gonna come out and try to throw the kitchen sink at his ass, because that's what Mike does.
Right.
The one thing that I don't know is the old Mike now, he's so used to dozing you with that heavy shot, he doesn't throw in combinations, right? So when he hits you with that big smacker, he almost want to step back to see like what that shit did to you. Unless you catch Roy on glass jaw, I'm not sure as to whether or not you get that effect that you're looking for. I think Roy's going to be on his horse looking to move and so forth a little more. I don't know what sort of shape Tyson is in to chase. But there are some stipulations to the fight which I think are interesting, because the other thing, like you were talking about, Joe, this has to end with somebody being knocked out. That's one of the stipulations, right? Unless it's one of the stipulations of the fight, Joe. You fight to the death is basically what this shit is. Unless somebody gets cut.
Wait,
now, I think this might be the case. Like Roy might have him one of them WWF razor blades, like I used to see my man Ric Flair use all the time, and
Dusty Rhodes. Nobody did it like Dusty Rhodes.
Nobody did. Oh, that was the king, exactly.
Right.
So
Abdullah the Butcher too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
his opponent, right? Because he hit him with the fork.
Yep. I wonder about the cut factor.
So you're picking Tyson?
So my choice in this is I look just how hard he's been training. I don't think Roy's in probably good enough shape, even for 2-minute rounds, to run from Tyson for that amount of time. The other thing I've seen with Roy, the young Roy used to be like your thundering chicken, dog. Like Roy was a chicken man. Like he's got a chicken farm in Pensacola. He trained and would watch chickens. He's unorthodox than the motherfucker, and
y'all must have forgot.
And fight in those weird angles. I just think at this age now, Roy has not been working in that acumen the same way. And just part of his defense is just that lean back bullshit. And I'm not sure. One of those times you don't quite lean back enough and you get caught one of the punches.
Well, the lean back has been mastered by Mr. Mayweather, though.
Well,
that lean back is not bullshit when done right.
Floyd don't do a lean back, though. It's different. So
Floyd Roy does a tough.
He never went straight back.
Accurately, what does Roy do that's like different? It's kind of
Roy leaning back a little. But that lean don't work. Remember Zab Judah Kasazu? Zab tried to lean back and Kasazu jumped in there and clipped his ass out.
Yeah. So the only thing that's working is just that one.
So here's my thing though, with Roy, like at least again, my opinion, with Roy coming up, like I said, like Roy, we never saw Roy get hit. Roy was a tremendous athlete. His boxing basics were lacking. Like you look at Roy, he does everything weird, awkward. He even said it himself. It's just like he figured it out. But in that older age, when them reflexes start to slow down, like my Uncle Bruce say, 1 year older, 1 step slower. Yep. Now you slow down and you don't have that foundation to fall back on. So you compare him to a Floyd, like Floyd had the solid boxing foundation offensively and defensively from his uncle and his father. Yeah. So even in his old age, he still had them fundamentals. So even if he was a step slower or he didn't crack as hard, he had that go back to, and Roy didn't have that. So once that speed and all that stuff started to wither away, now he's getting hit. And now you're realizing, oh, he can't take a fucking punch. And Tyson's gonna catch him.
So real quick. So what you're saying, Floyd doesn't that roll. That's not a lean back. That's more.
That's not a lean back. That's a deflection.
That's a shoulder roll, man. Floyd
shoulder roll, right? So he doesn't really lean as much as he shoulder roll.
But no.
Roy would go straight back. He didn't.
Right, it's the straight back shit that's dangerous.
Yeah, just
that. Floyd does a pull counter, and the way you set that up, so like the pull counter is like my head is here. I'll pull back and spring off my back foot and then come over the top and touch you.
Got you. That's not like leaning back, which is stupid, right?
No. So here's the secret to the pull counter. Watch Floyd's head. When Floyd's setting up, he brings his head forward. His head's over his front foot, right? So when he pulls back, he's in a natural stance again. And then he can crack it versus like being natural, pulling back and being off balance and then trying to springboard back.
Got you.
That's
on your heels. Yep.
This is why we have to have somebody who knows what the fuck they talking about on.
Yeah, Floyd is always an inch up.
My bad.
Everybody swears they're a boxing expert, even my dumb ass sometimes.
What I think Dewan is alluding to is part of Floyd's expertise in fighting. Floyd baits you. So the show of that face makes you think, oh shit, I got something. And what happens? People get aggressive and attack. Yeah. And when he lures you in, that's when it's the weird shoulder roll off the angle, and you about to take 2 or 3 on your way back out, dude. And I was like, something beautiful, you're losing that shit, dog. Like that shit
is something beautiful.
Yeah, it's just, you give.
But anyway, I missed. So who was giving their opinion of the layout of the fight? Was it on? You finished, Stone? What did you say?
I'm done. Yeah, we were on Dewan.
So to recap, you had said you think.
For me, I don't think Roy's going to be in enough shape to continue to run for Mike for a long period of time. Yeah. And I think as they close down, if they let these dudes start to let their hands go, this is one of the issues with Roy. Love this dude to death because what I really admire about Roy never became the comfortable, complacent fighter, right? Roy could have stayed in his bullshit division, dog, and just been dominant. But unfortunately, there was no competition, anybody to fight. Mm-hmm. This dude kept chasing fights. And I think almost to his detriment because he kept jumping weight almost. I was like, dude, you look too crazy about how you doing this shit.
Once he went back,
I was thinking in terms of like wrestlers and shit that I had been around.
Yeah.
You lose too much weight, you gain too much some period of time. Yeah, you may look good, but you don't carry the same power as dudes who are naturally at that weight level. And I thought as he got higher and higher, that shit started to regale in.
Was never the same after that Ruiz fight where he went up to heavyweight. He was never the same after that.
Well, the thing is because he lost the weight too fast.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because Roy
wasn't
when he
go on.
Oh, so when he fought Ruiz, remember he was solid.
Yeah.
Roy was jacked, and then you drop 30 pounds of muscle, and you watch his interviews of how he did it. All he did was run.
Yeah.
He he starved himself, he stripped himself down. And it's like you lost the weight and you're good for the scale, but what do you feel like physically? And then you taking them shots.
That's
and again, like you said, the slowdown, you getting hit now. It was just,
and that the shit that used to work don't work no more.
It damn sure doesn't.
So Dewan, so Dewan, what were you saying? I think I missed what you had said.
I'm kind of like on the fence, man. At the end of the day, for me, I don't want to see nobody get hurt.
Me neither.
And I feel like it's on that course. Like
Mike is going to black the fuck out. No matter what they agree to, Mike Tyson is not right. Mike Tyson wants to come back. Mike Tyson's like, I'm a warrior. I can't. The last second I do out.
What did Duke say to Apollo in the corner between?
He doesn't know this is a game. He thinks this is real.
No, it's a damn exhibition.
Right.
Damn.
That's Mike. Mike is off.
Got one speed. Like Mike got one speed.
Mike wants his glory days back, bro. He's gonna put that elbow down to the fucking canvas and come up with that ugly fucking uppercut, or he's gonna try. He wants his glory days back.
Can I give my take a little bit? My bad.
Can't wait to hear it. Oh no, but he didn't say. I'm sorry. Real quick, say we're gonna get right to. I just, Dewan, you got to commit to something, man.
I have. Wait, hold on. I gotta go.
It's 4 o'clock. Okay. Sorry, bro.
My daughter. So.
Landis, sir, we'll talk to you tonight, man.
All right, sounds good. And to
wait, yes, real quick.
While I'm here, while I have my drink.
The dump Trump toast. We're gonna do this again before this ends, but we gotta do it with my man Landis.
All right.
And my brother Landis and I have been devoted to anti-Trumpsterism, so for years, way before the presidency. So, bam, out, motherfucker, gone.
Good seeing you, brother Landis.
Good seeing you.
All right, take care, bro.
Love to you, bro. I'm gonna holler at you later.
All right.
So, so you have to commit to something, Dewan.
Oh man, I'm gonna call it a draw.
A draw?
Yeah.
No, because they said they're not doing no decision, right? I mean, there's no decision, but
wait, no, they're not. You can't win by decision.
It can't be a draw, man. Like it has.
Yeah, because there's no judges. There's just officials.
The stipulation said somebody has to win by TKO or actually, I think has to win by knockout.
Okay, hold on. That sounds a little reckless then for an exhibition fight. That sounds a little. Well, there must be a winner.
Well, here's the thing. They didn't word it that way, but that's what they're saying because there's no judges, so there won't be any scoring. But if you happen to knock the person out, then you'll get a win. You get what I'm saying?
This sounds to me like they're trying to stir up some shit. They want some. They want this shit to be violent because they
want some action.
Money.
That's exactly it.
They want some action. Time for some action should be the theme for this fucking shit. Use the red man shit. Time for some action. Though Mike used to come out to that shit.
I'm going for what do you call it? No knockout, just no decision, basically. Like they both make it to the final bell.
Okay. So the way it plays out, so do you think it's gonna play out boring and they go to the final bell?
Not necessarily boring, but like I mean, you got 2 minutes, and I think Roy got, you know, enough cardio, enough legs to get away from Mike, clinch Mike, lean on him, have the ref break it up. You know what I'm saying? Because Mike's gonna come at him. He's gonna come forward, and he gets close. You can tie him up, do what you got to do to survive.
Mike is definitely coming at him. Yeah, we know this. And unless he pulls some surprising shit like Jacobs did last night.
No, Mike's coming at him, but we don't know what Mike has in the tank though.
Yeah, Mike is off.
We watch these videos of him hitting the pads and
yeah, Mike's ready.
That could be the first third of it. You don't know how long the actual workout is. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Mike's coming to fight. No, you're right.
But I just know them first 2 rounds are gonna be hell. First 2 rounds.
Yo, y'all are trying to get me excited for this thing tonight, though. Because some people ain't taking this seriously, man. I talk to people about it. They're like, yeah, you know, I'm not talking to people who are very.
They don't know Mike Tyson.
Yeah.
They don't know Mike Tyson.
So Sekou, you're about to say, sir. So go ahead. So get into it.
Yeah. So. Man, Roy Jones and Mike Tyson they're my idols when I was watching them when they was at their peak, you know what I mean? But at the end of the day, man, as a viewer, you know what I mean, you just gotta, I just think of it like sometimes we think of doing something from the heart, like as like find out who's a boxer and who's a fighter, you know what I'm saying? Like, and like I give Roy a lot of respect, even getting knocked out, like all that stuff, because he just took challenges, you know what I'm saying? He just wanted to fight, you know what I'm saying? But like at the end of the day, you know, we could talk about Floyd because he's my other idol. Like I only have 3. I have Roy Jones, Mike Tyson, and Floyd. But they all were 3 different type of fighters, how they wanted it for themselves, you know what I'm saying? For me. Yeah. Like Floyd was really good, and then he saw the money tactic and like, wow, I could do this. I could do this. I can make this much. And then he thought of how he can change his level of fighting to be more defensive and know how to win fights. But like Roy, like as you can see, like I've been trying to tell him, like screaming, like, yo, retire, you know, retire. Yeah. But he just kept on fighting. But that was just from the heart, you know what I'm saying? Like he just loved it. You know what I'm saying?
He's been fighting since he's a kid, man. Like, he doesn't know nothing else.
Yeah, man. But at the end of the day, like when I think about before Roy and Tyson, this thing happened, I've been watching Tyson. Tyson's been like, you know, I've been seeing him chilling, smoking. You know what I'm saying? I saw him in Vegas one time, just chilling. So he just got into this phase and just getting back into, you know, just into working out and just, you know, he got back in his rhythm. You know what I'm saying? And all this stuff, this hype came about. You know what I mean? But it's all about who wants it more. And then the person who got called out was Roy. And I felt Roy probably felt like the pressure, but he's not going to give up a fight. You know what I'm saying? And I take it on who wants it. I think who wants it more. And I think Tyson wants it more.
Okay. So lay out how the fight goes.
The fight, it's funny because like you said, decision or like this, I wish it was a draw. But the thing about it is that if Tyson trained the way he trained, I want to give it to Tyson.
So you got to pick what round. Not round. You don't have to pick a specific round, but give a basic idea how it plays out. What happens?
I have 2 scenarios. There's only 2 scenarios. The only 2 scenarios. One scenario is that.
All right, those something's going on with life.
Tyson.
You saying Maurice?
Tyson takes him out in like 3 or 4. You know what I'm saying? I think Tyson. I just can't see Tyson go more than 4.
Tyson takes him out in 3 or 4. Okay. Tyson takes him out in 3 or 4.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
So before you guys move further, let me just read this. So what's a no knockout clause? The Tyson versus Jones fight is scheduled for 8 rounds.
We got 10 minutes, by the way, guys. We got like 10 minutes. So
with boxers, first of all, 4-ounce heavier gloves. So it's 12-ounce gloves with the shorter rounds and heavier gloves designed to prevent either fighter supposedly from inflicting too much damage, right? But you're talking about two pros, so I'm not sure how well that works necessarily. Knockout, they say, is highly unlikely under these restrictions. Referee is also under strict instructions to stop the fight if either fighter suffers a cut to their face.
What?
So the California State Athletic Commission was a sanctioned fight, and then they say basically, with that being the case, like the whole fight could be over before really fans settle into their chairs. You know, head clash, anything of that nature.
If there's blood, if there's a cut, they ending that shit right away. Which is the responsible move for this situation.
I would
gotta do that.
I would agree.
Got to do that.
I don't see that happening.
Yeah. All right.
Say cool. I got a shout out also, man. Dude, how marvelous Marvin Hagler get in your top 3, bro?
What happened?
That's a dog right there.
Yeah, man. You left out Ali too, man. Come on.
Oh, wait. My bad. I'm talking about my era.
Okay.
Guys who grew up actually physically seeing fight.
Physically watching fight.
Got you.
All right. Well, my cuz here, Chuck, tell me what you see, who you see winning, and how you see this thing playing out.
Anytime I ever watch any exhibition stuff or any of these gimmick stuff, I always look at the money. It's all about the money.
Facts.
How is it that Mike Tyson is getting paid $10 million for this fight,
and Roy get one?
and Roy Jones hold on, and
one
is guaranteed. He could make up to 2 more, but he's only guaranteed 1.
Yeah.
Wow.
What is that?
So I think that hunger is going to fuel him for like those first couple of rounds, but I think he's going to get caught.
So hold up. I like Chuck's scenario. So basically what you're saying is Jones comes in motivated.
Yeah.
Because I think everybody thinks, when you think of Tyson, everybody thinks you're going to be scared of Tyson, period, point blank. You're just going to be scared of Tyson, right?
Right.
But Jones is going to come in and that's been kind of the narrative of this fight. I don't know if y'all have heard this, but the narrative of this fight has kind of been like Jones is scared of Tyson, which is kind of why he, quote, pushed back the date, because he needed to prepare better.
Right. Well, he even said
a lot
himself.
of the times the media narrative isn't necessarily what the truth is, right? Even in presidential elections, they know a motherfucker won way before it hits the media, right? There's always the behind the scenes story and the media story. So maybe the media story has been like Jones is scared, but Chuck, where you have a good point is Jones is like, this motherfucker's getting 10 million. Fuck that. I got to get my 2 mil, and he comes more motivated, but still gets knocked the fuck out.
So
let's couple things on that though.
That's an interesting take.
So Dewan, before you go, just for the money split, can I add this? Just and take it, Dewan. The money, though, Tyson said all goes to charity. He's not pocketing any of this. And when you look at the Chicken Man, Roy has always been very fiscally responsible with his money. He has not been like Mike with Entourage and all that. Roy's been having the chicken farm down in Pensacola. So he's not hurting for the bread.
Good point.
I agree on that. Also, like, with that much money going to Tyson and all that stuff, like, now it brings up a different point, like, and it makes the rules make more sense to me. Why the rules are geared more towards Tyson, the shorter rounds, the no headgear, the smaller gloves. And for people talking about, oh, it's a 12-ounce glove. If you ever been hit with a 12-ounce glove by somebody who knows so I'm not the hardest puncher in the world, and I put people out with an 18-ounce glove with headgear on.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? So
shit, any glove hurts my ass. Shit, fuck that. You hit me with a pillow sometimes, I'll be like, ow, nigga, damn. Fucking the people who talk shit about boxing, you know, Dewan, you deal with it all the time. Everybody's a wannabe boxing expert, right? Until they actually get hit.
I feel like I don't think Roy's scared. Like, I think when you're looking at a guy like Roy, or just like pro fighters in general, I don't see one being scared of the other. Like Roy, even after his prime, after taking them knockouts, Roy still fought. Roy still got dog in him. Yeah, Roy's gonna fight. So I don't see fear being a thing. But again, like, you want to be prepared, because like you tell him, okay, I'm doing this 8-round exhibition for charity, and then the rules change.
Yeah.
So it's like, hold up, like, and this dude's coming to tear my head off. Let me get an extra month or so to get myself prepared. So I don't see fear being a thing. But again, like, you want to be prepared, because like you tell him, okay, I'm doing this 8-round exhibition for charity, and then the rules change. So it's like, hold up, like, and this dude's coming to tear my head off. Let me get an extra month or so to get myself to the level I need to be at for my own safety.
Right. So he's taking it seriously as a fighter, right? It's not, but of course the public would perceive it as fear, and the media might try to inject that a little bit. You always got to filter through the media bullshit. They gotta sell tickets, people who ain't fighters don't know, right? People who ain't fighters don't get that.
Yeah, there's nothing to fear. Like, I don't think either one of them had fear pumps them at all. Like, Roy got knocked out by Tarver and went and fought him again. Somebody who's fearful, you know.
Yeah.
So
I agree. So Chuck, I like
point.
Chuck, I like your take on it, man. Like, so you basically think that Roy comes in and he's going to give some energy, and that's still going to be his demise.
Yeah, Tyson, like someone said earlier, he has one speed only.
Yep.
I think.
All I'm saying though, Chuck, ain't nobody on this call right now trying to see that dude for them first 2 minutes though. That's all.
No. Well, I shook this man Tyson's hand, 1996, right when he got out of jail.
Hey man,
I had to work for the fashion fair or the fashion, the shit they do there annually for the fashion events over in Bryant Park. And Tyson just had beaten Bruce Seldon, I believe. And he was coming to the show. I'm standing here in this ridiculous all white fucking jumpsuit giving out flyers to people entering the fashion show. Tyson walks up. I'm like, oh, nice to meet you, champ. Dude's shorter than me. I was like, he's shorter than me.
Yeah.
Motherfucker was 5'10". Motherfucker was 10 times wider than me. And when he shook my hand, the first thing that went through my mind is, if this dude cocked back and hit me with everything he has, he could kill me with one fucking punch.
Right.
So that is the feeling you get. I'm talking. I'm not just talking shit. I shook this man's hand. Professional fighters get in front of this motherfucker. That first 2 minutes, you don't want. You better be mentally ready.
And then they think a 12-ounce glove gonna save them from.
Right.
No.
Nope. No. Yo, this is a lion who hasn't had meat, and now he's getting meat for the first time in what, over a decade? This motherfucker.
Reese, you talking
about hungry
Tyson?
For his glory days?
Yeah.
Yeah. No. I was going to Vegas, I think from JFK or LaGuardia, I don't know which one, but yeah, no, I was coming back home from Vegas, and he lives out in Vegas, and I guess he was going somewhere, but he happened to be on my flight, so I saw him in my thing, in my unit, whatever. He was waiting for our flight, and he was going to to one of the stores to get some food, and I was going myself, and I'm like, yo, Tyson, but what happened was he knows a relative of mine that worked with him in that play he did downtown. I don't know if y'all remember.
Great show. His one-man show with Spike Lee. Yeah. That shit was dope.
Yeah. So my cousin knew him, so I was just trying to like, hey, what's up? But I was like, I guess I was too aggressive. So I was like, yo, what's up?
Oh shit.
Oh.
Say cool. Damn, and the story is good too.
Isn't that always just like life is, dog? It's like,
always when the story is good, it freezes. Damn. Okay, wait, we're waiting for it to unfreeze. God damn it. And watch, it's staying stuck. He'll come back though. He'll come back. Well, listen, gents, we got 1 minute, okay? So here's our option. Oh, he's coming back. Say cool. Oh no, he left.
Wait, hold on.
I think he's still there though. But listen, we got 1 minute. Say cool, just so you know, we got 1 minute. Here's what I want to do. God damn you guys. The conversation always gets good, man. Y'all always do this damn shit to me. Let's go out and come back in again one more time.
Yeah, I remember her.
And we got to let Sekou
okay?
finish
One
that
more
story,
round,
dog. I'm still on the edge of my seat. I'm dying over here.
Yeah, one more round. Hold that thought, Sekou. Don't lose it.
Okay. That's what's
Go out. We come right back in again because I don't want to be limited. All right?
Okay.
All right.
All right, gents. I'm coming right back. Okay. Sekou, pick up from where you left off, sir. You were talking about your Mike Tyson story.
So yeah, I saw him in the store at the airport, Yeah. And I was just like mad excited to see him, but I just wanted to let him know, like, yo, you worked with my cousin at the, the play that you did, whatever. So when I was talking to him, you know how you like like you have the chips right there, like all the stuff, and then you can walk around it.
Yeah.
He was on the other side of the chips, and I'm like trying to talk to him, like walk towards him, and it seems like we're just walking around it, like he's like just stepping around, like he's like, oh yeah, Fresh Out, yeah, I remember her. Tell her I said, how you doing? I'm like, yeah. So I'm like, yo, it's good to see you, man. Can I take a picture? He was like, Nah, right now I'm just doing some shopping right now.
But yo, did he have an attitude like you might be trying to rob him or some shit?
No,
or?
It seemed like he was just like, he seemed like I wanted to fight him, like he was just on defense. You know what I mean?
Well, and you never picture Mike Tyson stepping back from somebody.
No, he was just keep like walking around and just like, yeah, what's up? Like just keeping his distance from me. I'm like, all right, man. I was like, all right, nice.
Well, you think about it, as badass as Mike Tyson is, he has so many people on him, right? You know, people step to him all the time. You know, somebody probably stepped to him like, yo, Mike, I love you, man. Mike, I love what you do, man. I love what you do, Mike.
Yeah.
Like, no. I'm not wearing nothing.
Like 15 minutes later, like, because we actually was on the same flight because we was going to Vegas. And 15 minutes later, I turn around, I see him taking pictures of like 5 white people. I'm like, this is some bullshit.
But you know what? He's not as scared. Like, he knows he's like, oh, the white people love me. So, you know.
Yeah, he probably wasn't, because
somebody in Brooklyn is going to get my ass.
Yeah, you're right. Because I was like, yo, what's up? Yo, you know what? He was like, yo, who's this nigga?
Let me ask you something. Y'all think Mike's ever been robbed?
No, probably.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, like before.
I mean, the way he grew up.
That's what I'm saying.
He grew up in that lifestyle.
Because I don't think Mike is off. Mike's a little off because Mike was like publicly endorsing Trump. But I think it's a different. Mike is one of the few people who I can forgive for that. But I think Mike has a different. I don't think Mike will be like, I'm scared more of my own people than white people. But he might even actually say something reckless like that, and then totally say something the opposite brilliant. Because Mike is just unfiltered. Mike,
but yo,
that's why people love him. I think.
You know, he's like the first person really that I admire as a talent that put a damn tattoo on their face like that. So I was like,
dude, we forgive Mike, man. Okay, listen, it frustrates me the way people forgive Kanye, because I never liked Kanye, but I understand why people forgive Mike. Maybe I'm a hypocrite because I forgive Mike for a lot of bullshit. Because there's just something about him, right? This is the essence of Mike Tyson. There's something about him.
Yeah, but I think, but you know what it is, man, that I think I realized about Mike. You saw this, to me, just like single-minded focus on being heavyweight champion that was just all-consuming. The only other person I think I've seen will like that before, your Muhammad Ali's, your Michael Jordans, that just kind of refused to lose, dog. Yeah. The thing that was crazy, you see this dude who just looks like God has, taken of the greatest and strongest of animals and like crafted it into man, right? And then you wind up finding out that just his downfall came from a lack of structure, a lack of love, a lack of people consistently in his life who give a crap about him and who would look out for him when he decided to, go off the rails. We all need that. That's what's so great about us, Reese, as brothers. I don't give a crap how big none of us become in life, dog. We all knew each other when we didn't brush our teeth in the morning when we went to school, dog. And just that's what you need to kind of put your feet back down on the ground, dog. I don't care how many stories you've been about other people. Right. We know you. You know what I'm saying? And seeing him kind of more or less as he starts to come full circle, man, he's been able to find a wife who truly loves him for him, right? Not the Robin Givens who drained him and so forth. Like, you've had up and downs with the lawyer who he's been married to for a number of years, man, but they're working it out. You're now seeing more of the development to Mike, the acting sides, the humor sides, and so forth, and things of that nature, man. So, you connect with him more now. And
did y'all see the Tyson documentary, the one called Tyson? Basically, Mike came from nothing. And see, I think it's that constant thing of like, this cat is such a fucking, he can wreck you with his bare hands, but he's one of the most human cats. He's gentle. Like, he's actually he feels shit. Like, you know what I mean? He really feels things deeply. That's what I love.
Well, you think about like, what were you doing at 14, 15, 16, right? Like, and then you look at what Mike was doing, where he went from the street robbing people because he was a big kid.
Yeah.
To when he met Cus D'Amato, where Cus had him like regimented, like he was like an attack dog.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And Cus kept him on Cus gave him the love and the support and understanding of this, but ultimately he was a fighter. He was meant to go out there and destroy shit.
Right.
And then once Cus died, it's like, okay, now you have this full-grown destroyer with no guidance.
Yes.
Yeah. And then you got the Robin Givens and then the Don Kings and all his people in his pocket.
Yeah.
And he never liked Don King. You can see Tyson never liked or trusted Don King. You can always see that.
But you see, but it's like, yeah, the thing that kept him on a leash is what was taken out, and now you release this man upon the world. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
he was destined for that. But now, like you said, like he's older, he's more mature, he has his wife, and he has a family, and he's understanding things that he didn't have before. And now you see the human side of him. And it's like, but you forget, like, exhibition or not, that bell ring, that condition going to come back.
PTSD.
Exactly.
But you know what? If you throw this into it also, Sure. I think we all connect with Mike, because Mike is still, like you said, a key word. You said a big kid. Mike's a big kid. And to a certain degree, Mike is like, I still can't believe I'm here. And I think like people see that and connect with him and sympathize with that, right? Like he's like, but he is more wise. He's not like that same big kid. He's a little wiser.
Mike is sharp,
but he's brilliant. I think his IQ is high. I think Mike Tyson has a high IQ. You know,
Mike is sharp. It's just that destroyer shit was at the forefront.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's like, even though he's sitting there having a
oh my gosh.
Say hi.
Girl, will you stop getting so big?
Hi.
This is the introduction of Lil Miss Johnny Juckins. She ain't that little anymore though. To the so love to you. Mwah.
I think what's interesting, Maurice, is if you even look at like athletes that span the globe, span the world, I think too many times, and this is the case with almost every sport across the board, those who grow up in poverty, man, grow up lacking. And unfortunately, people seem to think just because they sign $1 million contract, all of a sudden your IQ goes up, you know right from wrong, you know what social values and morals are.
Nah, man.
But that's what I'm saying. You watch time after time, and people still, I don't understand, man. Dude, he had all the millions. Why he don't? Because life was jacked up before the millions, bro. And when you don't solve that before you make it into the millions, you simply become an avalanche with $1 million in your pocket. That's all.
A friend of mine says fighters will always break your heart, because 9 out of 10 of them get money and lose it. Right?
Well,
basketball players, football players, Maurice. Like to me, it's the cycle of poverty, man. And the cycle of poverty is where they're broken before they come into these opportunities. And those exploiting the black opportunities athletes don't make for enlightenment.
So you're basically saying, in essence, then those who exploit the black athletes know what they're doing, because they have conversations in a room. Well, you know, these dumb niggas, they're gonna lose their. They don't know how to hold on to money anyway.
That's it.
Some are gonna get it.
Run nigga run, jump nigga jump, fight nigga fight.
Look at Adrian Broner, prime example of that. But then this is where, like, I respect the guys who don't really get mentioned, like the Danny Garcias.
Mm-hmm.
Danny Garcia got his money and he's opened business. He got a barbershop. He has a recording studio. He has money that he's getting without boxing. He could have retired 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And he's set.
He made the right investments.
Dude.
Yeah.
Right.
De La Hoya.
People say that about Floyd, though. People say, you know, Floyd's doesn't have brain damage. He's got a lot of money. My problem is, I just wish Floyd had more the mentality of like a Danny Jacobs, you know, because there's just something wrong, man. When you see how Floyd carries on with domestic abuse in the household, and how Floyd carries on with certain dumb shit that's gotten out there that you're even seeing his kids do now.
To me, that.
So I wish that somebody like Floyd just had a better mentor to guide him with his shit. You know what I'm saying?
But again, like, boxing was everything. Like,
yes.
Yeah, and that's part of the problem, though. You got to be beyond that, right?
For the whole family. And what you saw, but it's even sadder with Floyd, his uncle Roger Mayweather has been much more of a father than his own daddy in his life, right? Because dad was like, I put you on the boxing, so now your money is my money.
Dude, the time I felt the most for Floyd, was in the 24/7 with De La Hoya, and he was talking about how hard it was for him coming up, how fucked up his family was, and that's when I felt the most for Floyd. And I was like, you know what, man, I ride with Floyd. And then I saw him burning money when the IRS was after him, and then hearing about him fucking yoking up his woman in front of his kid. And I was like, man, I'm trying to fucking, you know what I mean? I'm trying to ride.
I'm not justifying it. You know what I mean? But it's sad, but that's just how some people are. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just, that's what they know. That's what they gonna be. That's just what it is. And you can't, all the money in the world's not gonna fix that.
It's not gonna change that.
It's not, and it's just like.
But what we do have to do is this. Bottom line, see, when Shaq says something like, "I ain't no role model," sorry, bro. As long as kids are watching you,
that was Charles
as long
Barkley.
as kids are watching you,
Reese, that was
you
Charles
can't have
Barkley.
your cake and eat it too, bro. You got to do something.
Charles Barkley. That was Charles Barkley.
Shaq said it too, though, didn't he?
No, that's Charles Barkley. Charles Barkley did it
bro.
originally.
Well, we know Charles Barkley did it originally, but I think I read something about Shaq saying too.
I doubt that, man. Shaq has carried the mantle, dude. Yeah, exactly. Shaq has carried the mantle.
All right, if I'm wrong, I stand corrected. Sorry, I'm not trying to do a Fox News here. My bad. But I will go and check my sources more thoroughly. But but y'all are getting my point. My point mainly being that when you're in the public eye and kids are seeing what you're doing, man, and especially like you doing that in front of your own kids, past a certain point, it's just like.
But that is the problem, because the people that should be the role models, which that was the basis of that whole commercial, was that it should be your parents, it should be whoever, family members, should be teachers, whatever. Just because I can dribble or dunk a basketball
don't mean shit.
Doesn't mean anything, because you don't know who I am, what I'm all about, whatever.
Facts.
You know?
Facts.
Yeah.
But like you said, it's because you're a public figure, that's what everyone is tuned in to look at.
And here's my point. I'll make it clear.
But to me, it's more than that. Because I agree with you wholeheartedly, Charles. My only issue that I have with is this. If you are able to create yourself in an image where your money and also is gained completely out of public participation and so forth as well, I would understand. For Charles Barkley, there are tons of families, young children buying your jerseys, which put direct hard dollars into your pocket, bro. So that becomes, to me, a level of responsibility. I'm not responsible for raising your child. However, in me showing necessarily, me understanding basketball is my job, I treat it as a job, I'm respectful, I work with my teammates and so forth. To me, that level of role model is owed. And unfortunately, I was like, I don't know how you wrap it up, any other way necessarily. I'm not asking you to raise my child, but in being a sport, when you play sports and things of that nature. And I was like, man, Charles came across kind of like the ugly American. I remember the Olympics, we were killing them little African Angolans, man. Like, and I'm African myself, bro. Like, those dudes were just happy to be there. They were like, oh my God, Charles. And he's blowing them in the chest. And I was like,
fuck Charles Barkley,
way over the top. Like, what's the name?
Fuck Charles
Y'all up 70 points.
Fuck Charles. I'm on record. Fuck Charles Barkley. Fuck him.
But it's a two-way street where I think a lot of our stars, they don't want that responsibility.
They don't. It's lazy. They want their cake and eat it too,
they're not equipped with that. And then two, it's upon the parents or whoever is raising the kids, it's upon them to say, like, look, just because they're on TV or whatever doesn't make them the fucking role model.
Exactly. And if anything, the problem is people are the blind are following the blind too much. Too many people are getting a platform when they shouldn't be. Now that Trump has been president, any motherfucking body can be president now.
Exactly.
But the bar has lowered like this, and there has to be some model to follow. And what I'm saying is this. I think that every time you see a Charles Barkley, you should talk about a Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I'm not saying he's perfect. But you know what I'm saying? There does need to be positive examples. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying everybody has to act like, but I am saying there should be basics. There should be basics, which are, that what you're doing is reaching the eyes of kids, man.
I'd like to add this, Marie.
And you do have a certain degree of responsibility. It comes with the job, just the same way that when you take money and popularity, there are things that come with that, man. You can't just enjoy and be selfish.
So let me ask
you. Gotta balance it out. And I'm not saying everybody's got to be political. But there's got to be some basic shit, like your shit is reaching kids. Now that said, that's not the reality. The reality is, they're not making my money. So that's the reality of the matter.
But being a role model has absolutely nothing to do with politics. It's just how you carry yourself.
You know what I'm trying to say. I'm not saying it's politics.
So, but one of the things. So this is my thing. The person who you mentioned, Lou Alcindor. Lou Alcindor had the game of basketball, Maurice, changed completely to make him a less functional and dynamic player as a black man. Charles Barkley never had to go through that.
Right.
Lou Alcindor was so fluid, Maurice. They banned dunking, brother, in college.
Right.
They banned dunking. Like they started changing the game.
Make it clear for the layman's who you talking about. Kareem. That's pre-Kareem.
Yeah, he came.
I basically never heard that name. All I know is Kareem.
His mama named him Lou. He was born Lou Alcindor before he embraced the Islamic faith and later on become Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. When he played at Power Memorial, dog, this dude was so dominant, Maurice. They had to change the rules of the game.
Yeah.
So then what happens is I was like, going forward, Charles is able to come to the table and eat off this dynamic plate that has been made by so many, dog, the Bill Russells and so forth, who, despite being possibly the greatest player in the history of basketball, was not loved in Boston, brother.
You just said something.
I put my heart and soul into the Celtics to be spit on by certain fans, shunned out of certain communities. And so even when you give it all, it doesn't always work out, right?
Stone, you just said something that made my point. Here's what I'm getting at. You made me realize the point I'm making. I think that more and more we're in a fast information age of social media. We lose our grip on lineage. We lose the value of lineage. The more we lose the value of lineage, the more lost we are, the more unrooted trees, we're just branches floating around in the air. When you understand lineage, then you have something more to live by. So, had Charles Barkley respected more the legacy of the person who made it possible for him, then he wouldn't be talking as ignorant and reckless. And somebody would pull him to the side more and be like, no. It ain't just about what media is flashing in your face. And you ain't going to just hang out around all the white person, get all the white women you want. Just do it. There's something here. There's a legacy here. You don't have to be perfect, but respect it on some level, right? Well, everybody talks about this stuff. Well, the Jews stick together. The Asians stick together, this or that, right? There's some myth to that. But what goes on is there is some form of respect to what came before you. Well, it holds everything in place with everybody who comes after. All right, there's got to be some sort of glue for that, if that makes any sense. What I'm saying.
The glue is like Stone said, that's the accountability. Like you said, like you going to school, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you remember when y'all didn't brush your teeth going to school, you know what I'm saying? Like that kind of like realness, like hold each other accountable.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm talking about. People get money and they change their surroundings.
Sure do.
Oh, this dude don't want to. This dude ain't gonna rock with me. I'm not gonna rock with him. But I'm gonna stick around these people that gonna worship me because of what I have, and then that's where that detachment comes from. Of, you know what I'm saying? So it's like it. Everything.
But think about it.
But we're saying the same thing, Dewan. That's what I'm saying, though. Lineage is the glue for that. Yeah.
But think about it in a broader. Yeah. Hey, think about it in a broader sense. Is that he wouldn't have been able to make that commercial, which I'm quite sure that wasn't his idea. That was Nike's idea.
Now, clarify, so once again, Chuck, clarify real quick. Which commercial are you talking about?
The whole, I'm not your role model. That's all Nike's pitch.
Okay, I didn't even know that was. I thought that was a quote from Shaq.
That's no. That's a Nike.
Barkley, that's an actual Nike commercial. I'm not your role model.
Okay, so I'm quite sure he didn't come. Yeah, I'm quite sure he didn't come to them like, hey, I want to do this commercial, blah blah blah. No. They probably sat back and thought, oh, well, hey, this is a great way to do this, to do that. You have to look deeper into the meeting and to who's pushing out the message,
right?
Instead of the messenger,
right?
So it boils down to money.
So Nike's pushing out that message. Great point, man.
So, but no. It wasn't Nike pushing out the message. It's no different than Nike jumping on the Colin Kaepernick wave. Right. There's money to be made.
It's when all Charles about that.
Made that statement. Yeah, when Charles made that statement, it lit up the continental United States, dude, and it caused such a buzz.
It wasn't a slogan from Nike that he said it and they made a commercial out of it, or was it their slogan?
Charles Barkley said, "I am not your role model," and that statement, as it started to blow up, and people were like, "Man, what you talking about? You're not." It just gained so much fire.
Nike said, "I didn't even." I heard some about that, but you're clarifying.
Understand everything that Nike does
is money related, Charles. Yeah.
Everything Nike does. So before they did that whole Colin Kaepernick thing, they waited until they got the NFL contract for the uniforms. Once all that became solidified, that's when they dropped the Colin Kaepernick commercial. They had already made the money, already signed the contract, whatever. Because if they had dropped it before, the NFL would have pulled it out.
Wow. And that is behind the scenes of what goes down, right?
But this is the impact of timing and so forth too. Like you see, all these leagues are basically, financial whores is basically what it is.
That's what
they're going to go where the TV contracts is. They're going to go for who pays them the most and things of that nature, and that's who gets representation with them. That's how it works.
You bring the numbers, Goodell, we work with you.
The only reason Black Lives Matter to Roger Goodell and the NFL is so Ninjas is still playing football on Sundays right now. That's the only reason.
Right.
Nothing is backtracked to deal with the Colin Kaepernick issues, because really, if you're gonna fall on the blade, brother. And like my man Dewan talked about accountability, right? Own up and cover the areas that you've completely blown it on. They've never done that, bro. They've embraced this new wave, which allows for games to be played. And as you can see right now, it's still a cluster FUCK as far as COVID-19. And guess what? They're like, hey man, sit down 2-3 days. We still playing though. We still playing.
Right.
Wait, day after tomorrow.
We still playing though.
But we still playing.
But see, that's where the problem is, that the NBA, it always seems like the NBA kind of gets it right. Everybody else fucks it up.
Yeah.
But you know what, y'all? To me, the NBA is just blessed to have the smallest, when you talk about team sports. Right. The sizing and so forth has something to do with it also. But you're right. What I agreed with them also, Charles, they didn't pull back all 32 teams, right? They told the bum bulls and some of the dudes who weren't doing well, stay at home. Y'all ain't part of this bubble, right? And I'm not trying to see y'all no way. Exactly.
Stay at home.
Work on your games for next year. We'll bring y'all back.
But they have the strongest CBA out of any of the professional sports.
Yeah.
So they have the strongest voice. So I'll give it to them, but yeah, NFL, they ain't working on their shit.
Well, listen. Before I lose this thought, I want to say this, Asim. What I love so much about the way you broke this down, and Chuck, you said what you gave the assist on this. You can equate what you're saying is universal. Because I was saying earlier, even in politics, they knew Biden won before they announced Biden won, maybe even days beforehand. They know what's going on behind the scenes way before it hits the public, right?
Yeah.
So if we equate what you were just saying, right? As far as, but you're still gonna play and all this shit, right? It's not genuine. Nike is looking at the numbers, right?
That's it.
Then look at it this way. It's the same reason that politicians come and try to get the black vote. Okay. Or it's the same, it's about the numbers. It's not about the genuine message. It's about, that's trending. Okay, right? So I think what happens is they pick, there's a quote I like that I recently saw, that presidents aren't elected, they're selected. But that said, they're selected based also upon the public. Because as much as the people who control society want to control it, they still kind of got to go with where the sentiment of the society is going, if that makes any sense what I'm trying to say. So they don't simply just manipulate everything. They manipulate it, but they kind of have to manipulate it carefully. Like, there's a buzz about this person. Okay, we got to follow that and act like we're about that. So what I'm trying to say is what you were just saying they did with Kaepernick, they even do with politicians.
Oh, it's been proven.
They even did it with Obama. They did it with Biden. But the reason that I'm so happy about Biden winning is not because of Biden. I'm happy because I was so jaded that I thought that everything is rigged. There's no such thing as the voice of the people. But I got a reminder that with all these protests that happened and all this shit that went down, the voice of the people did kind of lead to this outcome. They do. The people controlling shit do have to still go with the discourse of the people. You can't go against the discourse of the people. You got to do something called manufacturing consent. You got to go with what people actually want and then kind of coerce things. Does that make sense what I'm saying? Like, so that's why I like about your point so much. They didn't say, we really feel this Colin Kaepernick message, but they're like, there's a buzz about Nike's like, there's a buzz about this Colin Kaepernick message. We better follow that shit. That shit's hot right now. We better follow it. They do that with politicians also. You understand? It's the same kind of template in a way. Does it make sense what I'm trying to say?
It's business at the end of the day.
It's business at the end of the day. It's numbers. It's all about numbers.
But I think that's what's so misrepresented to just the general public and American public in general. To give somebody a voice gives the perception that you riding with that person, right? No. All they're doing is giving them a voice and collecting the checks on the side.
Right.
The whole message.
Just because I give you a voice doesn't mean that you really.
At the end of the day, right? You still over there in your corner doing whatever it may be.
Still gonna play though, like you said. You still gonna play though.
Well, exactly. Now, the thing that I thought that was just extremely encouraging this time in looking at this election, Maurice, given all of the detours and default paths that they made for poor Americans to be able to vote, man, you saw poor America stand up, bro. Yeah. You saw folks stand in 6 to 12-hour lines to cast the ballot.
The people still have a voice. They still got to follow the people. They wouldn't cater to the communities if we didn't have a voice. We just don't realize the voice we actually have.
Definitely. Well, this is the thing.
And that's why I'm so happy about this outcome, the outcome of this election. I think it proved that the people still have a voice, and we need to realize that. You know,
but I think what's happened though in prior politics, Maurice, nobody has been as blatantly ignorant, as misogynist, as racist, and so forth as Donald Trump, brother. That's why people have always been able to massage it, like you say, with presidents being selected, not necessarily elected, right? This idiot played himself so far away, like you literally had polarized America. There was no gray ground in the middle, bro. Like it was two outliers. And unfortunately, people came out and fought for their outlier, brother. And then you see this dude come back to the table, and I'm like, here we go now.
Well, I'm gonna say it like this. We got 10 more. I just got the notification. We got 10 more minutes. I'm gonna say it like this, and then let's get ready to wrap it up. I'll say it like this. I think that the people who are really in control of shit and said, let's make Trump president and then have 4 years of The Apprentice in the White House. And let's get a bunch of laughs off of this shit while we're getting our money grab on. And they got there and they got it, and the 4 years ended. And I think that the people who are really manipulating shit, you know, that have the corporate lobbies in government are like, okay, 4 years are up. Apprentice series is done.
Yeah, but the other thing I also look at,
we got what we needed.
Is just American society, by and large, man, it's a psychological phenomenon known as learned helplessness. And after a period of time, when people pulled the plug on stuff, so that came from Pavlov's dogs, in which they would do these experiments where dogs would have the ability to get off of this electroconvulsive shock therapy sort of thing. But the problem was, if there was no contingency as to when you shocked the dog or whatever the case was, or the dog could realize that he could get back off of it, you know what, after a period of time, they just stayed in place and got the crap shocked out of them over and over. And
I've heard of that, yeah.
That's what basically was kind of happening when you looked at American elections and so forth, brother. Like people, even our mayor here in Chicago right now, Lori Lightfoot won on 33% of the city of Chicago turning out to vote. 1/3 of our city voted for the now incumbent mayor. And what to me she rode were the LGBT communities and things of that nature, because I ain't gonna lie, regular black people fell back, brother. Mm-hmm. And now we find ourselves, man, we got this mayor. Same thing I thought per the president. You know what? I don't like this idiot. I don't like really Hillary too much. I'm gonna just fall back. It'll work itself out.
And falling back.
And
now we don't have time for this now. We only got 8 minutes. But the Ice Cube shit, that's gonna be another discussion.
What Ice Cube stuff?
Ice Cube coming out and basically saying, I'm gonna meet with Trump. I'll meet with either one of them. But since Trump wants to meet first, I'll meet with him, and jumping in front of shit, or either that. But he was a part of, connected to a whole bunch of black folks saying we ain't even gonna vote because they're both just as evil. And I don't think it's the election to do that shit.
But there are two parts to that Cube though, because Cube again came out trying to basically place a black contract or basically push a black agenda.
I know.
Unfortunately,
I don't think he did it smart though. He didn't do it smart. He should have been more strategic.
Smart or not, you can't do it if you outside the game, right? And at some point in time, I was like, how you gonna do it without people finding out anyway, right? If you do it behind their backs, then you look even more like a Tom. So
Cube is the egomaniac, though. I think that's
straight out. Look,
I think Cube's ego came back to him.
Right. I got to sit at the table with the power mongers because basically they're the ones who make the play going forward. Now,
but he's silent now. That's the weird thing. I haven't heard shit from Cube now.
But Cube to me is not your Little Wayne variety idiot. Who is talking about, man?
No, that's just Wayne. Wayne is just a drug addict.
I make money. And I was like, nah, dude, now you're just trying to save your taxes as far as not trying to lose
exactly.
your money. And I was like, as long as you're smart with your money, bro, you shouldn't have that to worry about.
But exactly.
You see all the different strains.
I don't know. I don't want to get in. I don't want to get into it because I know that's a whole other conversation. So I shouldn't even open my big mouth with that one. What I will say to wrap it up, because we got like 6 more minutes. Look at this man behind me, and tell me he's not going to fucking. Tell me this man behind.
I got one thing about that since Tyson's fight, bringing that up. Y'all remember like young Tyson coming up, knocking everybody out. Y'all remember the first person he didn't stop?
Oh shit! Good question. Who
was the first person he didn't beat? He didn't knock out.
That's a good question.
He didn't.
I'll tell you, James Quick Tillis.
It was Tillis. Okay.
You mean AKA the Fighting Cowboy, Dewan?
James Tillis.
His nickname changed about 50 million times in the course of his career.
Okay, wait a minute. So you say that we got 5 minutes left. You say that to say what?
If Roy still got legs and Roy can still move, he got a shot. I mean, like, because Tyson's gonna destroy you and jump on you and blah blah blah. But once he can't do that, there's no backup.
There's nothing else.
Yes.
So if Roy can neutralize that with the legs, the movement, the clinches, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Then he can probably dust Tyson off, because also, like, Tyson, we know him as a destroyer and super defensive, but also, like, he hasn't been hit in 10 years.
No.
What's his punch resistance going to be like? So
that's
I
true.
don't want to shut Roy out completely. You know what I mean?
And you know what? For a second, I thought Roy would definitely. I was talking shit in the beginning, way back, months back. I was like, I think Roy's gonna beat him. I was talking that shit. But then I thought about his glass jaw and other things. But that's a very good point, man. I don't know. Would y'all say you're a little more excited about? Okay, I don't know. Were you guys excited about this fight at first?
Well, I'll tell you one thing.
Has this conversation made you any more excited about it, or were you not excited about it? Tell me.
What
Chuck looks
makes
like
me,
either way, whatever.
No. I can't say that. I think too many times, like the first fight, there's a question mark, right? Because nobody knows if like Nate Robinson's boxing acumen versus Jake Paul, right? The two dudes we're talking about now, right? The two dudes we're talking about coming in the ring literally have almost 70 years of boxing experience between the two, right? That ought to make it entertaining enough, because at least they know what they're doing. There's a comfort level in the ring. They can morph to the rules and things of that nature, like Dewan and Chuck was talking about earlier. It makes it at least like I got to tune in, bro. I was like,
well, Chuck, you don't look so enthusiastic, bro. You don't look so enthusiastic.
I just think about it. We're watching a 54-year-old and a 51-year-old fight.
Yeah.
Okay. To me, it's like, I was like, why? I mean, I understand from an entertainment standpoint. I hate because a lot of these young cats, like, people don't understand like how good Roy Jones Jr. really
Roy Jones was special, man. He was one of my
he was the damn
He's a bad motherfucker. I've never seen anybody like that, bro.
I'm excited.
Like, he gets skipped over because of his last.
That's true. That's a great point, man.
And I hate to see like you were talking about. He ain't
close to what he used to be, though. He ain't close to what he used to be, though.
It's just like
he still wore the crown, man.
I agree.
Yeah, we know he wore the crown, but if you look at Roy Jones' past few fights,
though.
But his past few fights were like, come on, man. And I'm a Jones fan like that. And like his past few, he was never the same after he fought Ruiz, man.
Dude, it'd be like saying, like, hey, let's go watch a Michael Jordan, Magic Johnson one-on-one contest. It's like, dude, why do I want to sit here and watch these two old? Like,
I was mad when they first announced this fight. I was mad. I was like, this shit is insulting, man. They're just looking for a way to make money. And it is a circus. It's a circus. So that's why I'm with you. But I have this little hope as a Fight Geek fan that we're going to see something interesting.
Exactly.
I don't know. That's just the
I just hope nobody gets hurt. That's the at the end.
And I don't want anybody to get hurt either. Yeah, I don't want
that. The other thing you're hearing is potentially, should he do well, Mike may use this as a springboard, right? And then I'm even hearing old crazy George Foreman also is talking some.
Well, you said 53. Oh, no. Wait, we ain't even discussing that. But my point, speaking of George Foreman, I was going to say, Chuck, you just said it was 50. 54-year-old man fighting. George Foreman won the World Heavyweight Championship at 50, bro.
Yeah.
I mean,
but hold on. He didn't have.
That's a whole different thing, though. That's a whole different
circumstance.
We can get into
totally
that
different.
That's a whole different thing. Yeah,
that is a different thing, though, and it's also who he was fighting. Also, Michael Moore was nothing.
Yeah, he came went right. The industry.
All right.
Was not
well, we got
dominant.
2 minutes, gents. With our last minute or so, real quick, this fucking Nate Robinson versus piece of shit troll fucking bitch ass Paul. I say Nate Robinson. I'm going off of emotion, but I don't give a fuck. I say Robinson gives him the business and wins. At least by decision.
I hope they knock each other out and shit just be over with and we don't got to see no more of this silly shit.
Right, exactly. I agree. What do you say, Chuck? Exactly.
I hope Nate Robinson wins, and like I said, see, both of them.
So you think it's gonna play out when Robinson gives him the business?
I think Robinson once again, world-class athlete. Like, people don't understand how
That's
good.
What I'm telling you, bro.
Like, this man played 11 years in the NBA. All right. Could have easily played football.
I don't know a lot about him, so y'all are schooling me.
Hey, he played with the Bulls. He played with the Knicks. Like, dude,
the beast.
He can. Okay. He's a beast.
All right.
Yeah, when he
what do you
went
say,
to
sir?
the University of Washington, Maurice, they tried to recruit him as a two-sport athlete to play football as well as basketball, also.
So Stone, you're saying that. So you're saying that Robinson gives him the business tonight.
I like when athletes have an ability to work at a craft before they get a chance to enter. I've not seen anything, and to me, if Paul was all that great, he would be boxing as a professional, brother. Like,
so you're saying Robinson? Stuff, you're saying right? Robinson?
Yeah, proof in the pudding.
Well, we got to wrap it up, sir. We got under a minute.
Who's going to come out and actually put some heat on him, Maurice? That's what I'm talking about.
Well, we got less than a minute right now. We got to wrap this up, man. I love and appreciate y'all, man. I could go another 2 sessions of this. But let's see what gives tonight. I'm gonna be getting in touch with y'all tonight during this fucking fight.
Definitely.
IG Live. But y'all, man, you're my brother, man. Y'all I could do this. I really appreciate you, man. Thank you for doing this.
Without a doubt.